So, guys, it is truly a privilege to be a parent, isn't it? I mean, it is a great
Yeah.
privilege and a great burden sometimes. And my final question to you, and as we think about, like, speak directly to our listeners here, because how do we as parents lovingly wear or bear the burdens of our kids without fully wearing them on ourselves to the point that we're being buried by
Mm,
them ourselves because we
mm,
care so deeply? How do we kind of, maybe another way to say it is, how do we keep the right perspective of our role and our child's role and God's role?
mm. That's really good.
So I have thoughts if you don't immediately,
Yeah.
but I was thinking about that, especially the word that you started with, Jamie, saying it's a privilege to be a parent. The Bible talks about how children are a blessing from the Lord. Jesus talks about very clearly about how important children are to
Mm-hmm.
God. There's tons of evidence, Old and New Testament, that kids are really, really important to the Lord, right?
Mm,
But one of the things that really changed my thinking on parenting was Pele, the soccer player. Not that he gave parenting advice, but when the World Cup was in Brazil, ESPN did kind of like these little 15-minute legends of the game shorts, and they did one on him, and I don't know if your listeners are familiar with him. He has the world's best smile. It just has this huge light up your face smile. The interviewer said to him, "Look, everybody thinks you're the greatest of all time. What do you think makes you great? Made
Mm-hmm.
you great?" And he smiled, that big Pele smile, and he said, "When I was a boy, um, my father used to tell me, son, the way you play the game is a gift God gave you. Always play the game in a way that lets God know you are thankful for the gift He gave you." So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
did.
Wow.
mm.
That's it. That's the story he told. And I remember
It's,
having like goosebumps on my arm when he said that, because the greatest player of all time in the most widely played sport in the world said that he was just trying to play the game in a way to let God know he appreciated the gift he gave him. And I thought about, well, what if I parented that way?
mm,
Mm.
You know what I mean? What if I parented my kids in a way that let God know I was grateful for the gift he gave me? And it certainly changed my perspective. It changed our perspective in our home. It certainly changed the way we thought about them. It changed the way that we interacted with them. It changed the way that we encouraged them, developed them, disciplined them,
mm,
and all those kinds of things. So,
Yeah, and I think just thinking about it from, like we have that mom guilt a lot of times that did
mm,
I do enough? Did I, could I have done something differently? And all these things that kind of that pop up for us. And the reality is, we have to do the best we can, right? We have to do the best we can with what we know and the resources that are available to us. And after that, it's really just we have to just trust that God is in control of everything. And that has been freeing for me because I
mm,
realized that, I didn't do the best. Like I did the best I could, but I didn't have all the resources when we first started
mm-hmm.
parenting. So I made a lot of really big mistakes. I did things and I said things that I shouldn't have. I also, were big proponents of just making sure you understand your own history and work through it. And
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't happen instantaneously. So I still make mistakes that are related to my own history. But if
Mm,
I recognize that I can only do the best that I can and the rest is up to God, so I'm
mm-hmm.
not saying, well, I'm only going to, whatever happens is going to happen. So I'm not going to do anything. But
Mm-hmm.
if I recognize that I'm going to do the best I can, I'm going to give it my all and um, trust that God is in control of all the rest.
Yeah.
Um, and on the other side of that too, I also have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself
mm,
because giving it your all takes so much energy, and
Right.
there's so much we're pouring out to our children and we're pouring out to our children. And if we don't take some time, even if it's just a few minutes every day to refuel whatever that looks like for
Mm-hmm.
each person's
Yeah.
different. For me it's just having a little bit of time to read or to just sit and drink a cup of coffee, just sit where nobody's asking me a question. If I can just have 5 or 10 minutes, I'm good and I can make it through the day. But if I get out of bed with kids pounding on my bedroom door, begging me for things, and then all day long it never stops, by the end of the day I just want to collapse, you know?
Right.
So I have to be very intentional about making sure that, because it is hard work. Parenting kids who've experienced trauma is hard work. I mean, it just is. But if we can be very intentional about making sure we're taking care of ourselves, then it doesn't feel like that burden, like Brian said.
Well,
it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't weigh so heavy on you because you have filled your own cup and you have said, I'm going to take some time for me. I'm going to take care of me.
well, I mean, to kind of just add on to that a little bit, I think that sports analogies are always good. And we look at athletes and we think, well, how does that person, get that good? How is this person able to perform at a level that his employer pays him $40 million a year to throw a football, right? It's because he goes to practice every day. He's been working on it for decades. And when practice is done, he's still standing there trying to throw the football into a trash can that's 40 yards away to improve his accuracy. And so we accept that athletes get better when they work on their skills and developing their skills. But we also accept that when he's done with practice, he gets a rub down, he takes his sports drink, he replenishes, and we never think of and if we thought of parenting in those terms, like, because we just think we come out of, we're just born with this inherent ability to parent well, and that we don't have to replenish. But if we did we do the work, we train, even the $40 million a year quarterback has a coach. He actually has several of them, right? So if we'll have somebody who can help us, who'll pour into us, and then we'll recognize that at the end of that hard thing, there is the massage table and Gatorade waiting for us, so to speak.
I wish we had a massage table.
You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Like we have to take care of ourselves, and that's kind of how we look at it over here. Is that this is something that's hard. It's something that we need to continually get better at if we want to be good at it. So we have to invest in ourselves in terms of education, in terms of encouragement. We've got some really great people in our lives who are, COVID kind of hit this a little bit, but are much like family to us. So we don't spend as much time together, but still, we kind of lean on each other, and we have this really good community. So, to answer you said speak directly to our listeners. I'd say that the more you equip yourself, the better, I'll do in quotes, you're going to get at this, which actually makes the stress of it, like when things are moving in a good direction in the house with the kids, the stress becomes less, which is a great way to take care of yourself by reducing the stress of parenting. Plus, then you have to not check out, but you have to give yourself permission to say, in the same way that you'd plug your phone in. Like, we have a friend who plugs your phone in when the battery says there's 70% left. Like, I don't know anybody who just lets their phone die. I mean, there's stress. Like, we find a charger. We have the little portable cubes we take with us, little charging packs. If we treated ourselves the same way we treated our phones, we'd be a lot better at all of this, because we take care of ourselves. Yeah. And by the way, when we're taking care of ourselves, we're less stressed with the kids. And so, the parenting difficulties decrease over time, because I think we have to recognize that us parents are always a contributing factor to what's going on, typically by how we're responding to it. And if you're frazzled, you're not going to respond well.
Yeah. Wow. Such rich stuff, you guys. I have so enjoyed our time together, and I know that I am better for it, and our listeners will be also. So thank you for being on today.
Thanks
for having us, Jamie. It's
fun.
Lots of fun.